the World Health Organization excluded Taiwan from their World Health Assembly. Again, how far has China's influence reached? The answer might surprise you. Welcome back to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This week, the World Health Organization held an online meeting of member nations. It's called the World Health Assembly, and the main topic was how to tackle the coronavirus. However, Taiwan was not invited. Why? Isn't Taiwan, part of the world? Aren't they also dealing with the coronavirus? In fact, haven't they been the most successful at fighting it? Taiwan has a population of 23 million, but only 440 coronavirus cases and 7 deaths. Taiwan was also asking the WHO to vote on whether they could be an observer at all WHO meetings, something they had been allowed to do until 2016. But in the end, they decided to postpone their request. But shouldn't Taiwan have at least been at this WHO meeting about the coronavirus that Taiwan has been so successful at controlling? No, of course not. I'll get to the reason in a moment. But here's some important background information you need to know. This is YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki on CNN's Reliable Sources in April.
But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy.
Apparently, violations of YouTube's policy included our episode, Coronavirus, How WHO Corruption Helped It Spread. Yes, over the weekend, YouTube censored that episode, completely removing it, after it had been up for almost 3 months. In the episode, I referenced things like this AP article about how the WHO spends more on first-class travel and 5-star hotels than on fighting AIDS, and how an internal audit found that the division of the WHO responsible for handling the coronavirus outbreak is so chronically underfunded it has repeatedly been found to pose a severe and unacceptable level of hazard. Now, at no point in this video did we actually go against World Health Organization recommendations, unless you count chronically underfunding your Health Emergencies Response Division while your leadership stays in 5-star hotels as a recommendation. Actually, the reason YouTube gave for removing the video was because it encourages or promotes violent or dangerous acts. Yep. Now, after we appealed the decision and made a big stink about it on social media, YouTube put the video back online in just an hour. But this experience, it really got me thinking. As a YouTube content creator, I need to be more responsible to you, my viewers, when it comes to talking about the WHO. Thank you for pointing this out to me, Susan. Which is why I've decided to praise the WHO for excluding Taiwan from their meeting. That's a good decision, one that really advances global health. And really, it's Taiwan's own fault for being excluded. They rejected China's main condition for entry, which was acceptance that Taiwan is part of China. I mean, it is. That's just objective reality if you look at maps created by China. Or read confidential internal memos from the WHO that instruct everyone to always say the Taiwan province of China. Yes, the World Health Organization always lists Taiwan as a province of China. They call it Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, and environs in a list of affected cities in China. And who am I to argue with Susan Wojcicki? I mean the WHO. I respect their recommendations on all matters. Now, the US was really pushing hard for Taiwan province of China to attend the WHO meeting. But come on, how many people has the US killed in the Middle East, which is very relevant to this issue? And anyway, it's not as if Taiwan province of China wasn't represented at the WHO meeting. Xi Jinping was there to represent all the provinces of China. He even gave a speech where he promised $2 billion to help fight the coronavirus. Wow, so generous with money. I can see why the World Health Organization has praised China for their transparent response to the coronavirus.
China took action massively at the epicenter, at the source of the outbreak. This is heroic. The actions of China is making us safer.
And I certainly wouldn't want to put a video on YouTube where I disagree with the head of the WHO. I wouldn't do that, Susan. And yet, Trump has been attacking the World Health Organization. And he's totally alone. He's saying the WHO's response to the coronavirus was too slow. That's Trump saying that, not me. I wouldn't do that, Susan. Trump is also now threatening to permanently cut U.S. funding to the WHO and possibly withdraw the U.S. from the WHO entirely. In a letter to the head of the WHO, Dr. Tedros, Trump writes,
"If the World Health Organization does not commit to major substantive improvements over the next 30 days, I will make my temporary freeze of United States funding to the World Health Organization permanent and reconsider our membership in the organization."
That seems kind of unfair to the WHO. I mean, sure, they've been very careful to never contradict China when it comes to the coronavirus outbreak. But is that really so bad? I mean, China is now even in favor of a coronavirus investigation, as long as it's done after the pandemic is over, and as long as the investigation is about no country in particular. I'm fine with it. So remember, everyone, be like Dr. Tedros and follow the WHO guidelines. Maintain at least 3 feet of distance between yourself and others. If you need to leave your house, wear a mask. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. And definitely, ignore the president of Taiwan Province, China. And now is the time I answer a question from you, a fan who supports China Uncensored on the crowdfunding website Patreon. YouTube would have put us out of business by frequently demonetizing episodes and sometimes even removing episodes. Not that I have a problem with that. YouTube's vague and arbitrarily enforced community guidelines keep us all safe. Anyway, today's question comes from Up and Beyond. YouTube aligned with the CCP. Incredible. You are not allowed to criticize the WHO. What? I never said YouTube is aligned with Communist Party interests. That's ridiculous. Just because they allow Chinese state-run media to host videos on YouTube and occasionally remove China Uncensored content doesn't mean anything fishy is going on. And what's there to criticize with the WHO? They're golden in my book. Thanks for your question, Up and Beyond. And thank you for watching, and a big thank you to YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this episode of China Censored. If you'd like to make sure we never make this kind of content again, please support us on Patreon with as little as $1 an episode. That's the only thing that's allowed us to continue our coverage. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.